All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hope everyone's having a great day, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the coin and paper money hobby as much as I am. I wanted to take some time to discuss a success story. I had the pleasure earlier today to talk with a gentleman. I call him Sam because that is his first name. But anyways, he is the owner of Kingdom Currency on eBay, and we had a little bit of an interesting topic. And this might very well open your guys' eyes to the possibility of possibly creating an online e-commerce presence that revolves around paper money. Most specifically, finding fancy serial numbers and various other cool nuances in $1 bills. And when I talked to Sam earlier today, he he laid it all out on the line, and he said that he searches many thousands of dollars in dollar bills every week. Up until his bank kind of cut him off, or a few of his banks kind of cut him off to that practice. But a lot of the sales that you're going to see here today on his eBay store, a lot of these were pieces that he had found out in circulation, and he has done exceedingly well. Now, I will say this. Some of the notes that he had sold, okay, I had once told you guys that these things aren't worth a whole lot of money and you probably shouldn't waste your time. I think talking with Sam and taking a look at his sold listings on Kingdom Currency, I think I've probably changed my mind on that stance. So we're going to kind of take a look at a number of offerings from his most recent sales. A lot of the sales from the last 90 days is all currency. And that's what he specializes in. He told me that he doesn't know a whole lot about coins, and errors and varieties and, various other things of that nature. But he knows his currency, and he has found quite a few notes that he was able to make some money on. And this is going to be, again, another exercise into, trying to carve out a niche and really sticking to it. Which is what he had done here with this site. So, Sam, it was great talking with you, man, and I'm glad to do this video. And again, this is something that I think is going to open a lot of folks' eyes, because a lot of these notes sold for a lot more money than I thought they would be worth. But again, beauty and interest is in the eye of the beholder, and that's the big primary reason why that these have sold in the first place, is that they're interesting. Maybe they have some sort of personal or historical context or, tie in to their life. We really don't know. But what I do know is there is a lot of possibility here for folks to cash in on what you can find out there in the wild today. So strap in your seatbelt, grab a beverage. We're going to try and take about a good probably 10-15 minutes looking at some of Sam's selections from the last 90 days that he had sold. Fortunately, the photos that he had put on here on his thumbnail for each of the listings is large enough that I think you guys can all probably see and read what we got here. Now, the first note I wanted to talk about, of course, you guys know that I've had my own personal, opinions on trinaries. Okay, you guys know what trinaries are. It's a serial number pattern where three numbers exist and they kind of like maybe repeat or a certain pattern, but it's just three numbers. I've always said these things, man, you just go ahead and spend them, right? Boy, was I wrong. And this is just one such example where a trinary ended up selling for more than face value. The first one that you see over here, this 2013 $1 bill, has 1s, 7s, and 0s. So that's 3 numbers designated on a serial number line. He ended up selling that note for $6. And for the sake of this particular exercise, we're going to assume that all the notes are circulated, all right? Unless it says otherwise in the title. So he had also talked to me about this particular fancy serial number where you have, they call it either leading or trailing. And we actually have 2 of them back to back here. That's proved to be a great example. And it's crazy because I found notes like this, but I had no idea whatsoever that these were worth this kind of money. He also mentioned the reason why that he finds and uses $1 bills to look for these is that they represent a much larger opportunity for making the most amount of money. Because if you're starting out with, say, like a $5 or a $10 or a $20 bill, and you find a lot of these what someone in the community would call minor fancy serial numbers, you're not going to be able to realize the profit potential off of selling those larger denomination note because. Like for instance, this one here, where he has described and guys, keywords is going to be an important kind of lesson in this. You have to type in the keywords into your listing title to get the hits, to get the searches. So he used the word fancy, which is an important word in this segment of paper money collecting. Fancy serial number, $1 bill, series 2017. Solid 5 of a kind 8s leading. So he put in all of the relevant keywords in here for this particular listing. So a leading is the serial number starts or begins with a certain numbering pattern. In this case, we have 5 8s to lead off the serial number, and it's really immaterial what the last 3 numbers of the serial number is. 5 leading 8s, which is an important kind of fancy serial anyways, because 8s are traditionally referred to as very lucky in like Chinese culture and all that. So there's a lot of folks, from China and various other parts of the country that will buy this because of the 8s in there. This one ended up selling for $18. And again, it's a $1 bill. Sam made 18 times face value off of something like this, where to a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's so close yet so far, right? That we've all been conditioned and taught that there's a certain kind of like bracket of fancy serial numbers that are widely accepted in the collecting community, and leading 5 in a row of any digit was not one of them. Now, I'm here to tell you that the game has changed a little bit, all right? Sam has been selling these for quite some time now. He has logged over 1,400 sales in just the last 90 days, but it continues. So we saw the leading 5 in a row. We also have what they call the trailing 5 in a row. So it's 5 numbers to cap off a serial number. So it's the last 5 numbers that's trailing, all 7s. This particular note ended up selling for $50. That is remarkable because, there are like 4-digit repeaters and radars that you can't even on the best of days sell for $50. And yet Sam managed to pick up $50 for 5 in a row 7s on this note. All right. And that's pretty relevant in today's standards. So I have a lot of people that I've talked to, not only here on YouTube or in the chat or on the live coin Q&A, but, even on my emails, my own independent emails, but also through the folks I talk to, they have a real desire to want to make money, all right? Because that's kind of the message that's going out there in social media today. How can I make money in this hobby? We're seeing it firsthand here, folks, and Sam has been doing a great job. So the next one, or one more thing before we go on. When this note right here is on like a $20 bill, you're making less profit. All right. So obviously you want to look for things like this on $1 bills. The lower the denomination, the better. We have a $1 bill, fancy number, true trinary solid fives. So there's 5 zeros socked in right in the middle of the serial number, but you also got a 2 and a 1. It's sold for some amount of money. I'm just going to go ahead and guess between $20 and $30 maybe is where this one ended up as. But I'm willing to bet that some of you had probably found something similar to that, and you ended up either spending it or you still have it or what have you. Here's another one right here. $1 bill error note, 2017A, miscut banknote wraparound complete ladder. So there's a lot going on with this one. It's a little bit miscut. You can see how thin the right margin is here on this one. But examine the serial number. It's a scrambled ladder that wraps around. So it starts at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. And then it goes back to 0, 1. So that's what they consider a wraparound fancy serial number. I'm not generally a fan of scrambled ladders because there's just so many more that you could find of those. And if it's not complete left to right or right to left in order, I just don't find them nearly as interesting. But after seeing this, I would imagine he probably sold this one for about $10. So, and star notes are another way that you can make money off of these. Traditionally, a lot of star notes, and I've told you guys that a lot of the more common run star notes have about a 3.2 million run. Those are not worth a whole heck of a lot more than face value. So Sam had said, the best thing you could do is put it up for $5-6, buy it now, implement the plain white envelope shipping method through eBay, and you can actually do okay on them. They're kind of like more supplemental for the site than anything else. The next one that we have here, another best offer was accepted, but we have a note here that has 6 4s in the serial number. Again, for me personally, that's a note that every day of the week I would sell. Or not sell, but I would go ahead and spend it because it doesn't conform to my personal requirements of what a fancy serial number is. Now, I'm telling you guys, don't listen to a damn thing I said about some of these fancy cereals because there is definitely some opportunity for you guys to make some money on things like this, where there's a lot more of them, in our change. A lot of you, I'm sure, have come across the Where's George dollar bills, where, they've been stamped by this program where you could track the notes online. He said he sold them for like $4 or $5 a piece, where, it's... he said it's okay, and it's more. He ends up making about $2.50 per note, somewhere around there, after fees. Here's another one here, trinary trailing zeros. Okay, so something that maybe you guys aren't aware of, but generally the notes that end in all zeros or all nines are pulled out of the packs or the. They're pulled out after they're cut by a BEP employee. They don't usually circulate the trailing zeros and trailing nines. But there you go. They do pop up out there on occasion, and not many people know much about them. So he ended up selling them for a pretty good amount of profit there. All right. He did a few vol boxes. He's got a couple of them. He sold this one for $15.50, which is a whole heck of a lot more than issue price. Here's another one here. Solid consecutive pairs uncirculated. So we got a pair of 7s, pair of 1s, and then 4 9s. So he sold this one probably for between like $10 and $15. But you could see he lives and dies by the best offer. So he'll accept an amount of money where it's equitable for him. And he'll do little kind of like play on the birthday serial numbers as well, even though they're not oriented correctly. In this particular case, he did a January 7th 1970 birthday note, even though it's got a few extra zeros in there. He did 1/7 for January 7th, 1970. So, he took advantage of what could be something that he could sell and, made a few dollars there. Let's skip over the rest of the buy it now or best offer listings and, go on to some more concrete type sales. $8 realized for this, what he call a low serial number quad zeros. So there's 4 zeros in the serial number, but it's a 5-digit, quote unquote low serial number. So he sold 1, 2, 3 of them, 4, 5, and they're all consecutive too. So he sold 5 of them for $40. So that's converting $5 in $1 bills to a $40 bill. That's not bad. Here's another birthday note. This time it's a October 5th. Not quite completely oriented correctly by birthday serial number standards. Usually it's first 2 numbers is the month, and then the next 2 numbers is the day, and then the last 4 digits is the year. And those will typically command the most amount of money. But our friend Sam here, excuse me, doing again very well, selling these, in different kind of like combinations. As long as it's, I forget, I think they call them like the European standard, where it starts with the year first and then the month and then date. I might be wrong, but he did kind of orient it that way. We have a nice little, what they call a flipper rotator ambigram trinary. So, when you flip the note over, the 9s will be 6s and the 6s will be 9s and the zeros will still be zeros. You sold that for a determined amount of cash there. Pretty close. We almost, this is a trinary. There is 6 8s, which is quite nice. Anything with a lot of 8s in it, if you had a note would say 4 8s, of course it'd be a lot better if they were all grouped together, so that way they're in a row. But if you have any number of them, 4 and up, make sure you put those aside because you can't sell them. Same way that he did here with this. So we have another near solid 6 5s here. Sorry, that's my dog, by the way. Someone just came home. 6 5s here. Another trinary type of bill. Probably sold for between $20-$25. If I had to guess. Here's another one here with 6 2s. Sold for a nice chunk of cash. Here's one here. What did he say about this one? $1 bill, repeater digits, note quad 1. So there's 4 1s in there, a couple 8s in there, and then starting out with 2 3. Ladder run of 4. So it looks like, let's see, 6 7 8 9. Yeah, 6 7 8 9 is in a row here, right in the middle of the note. Sold it for, I would presume, like $5 to $7, somewhere around there. Here's another leading 6 in a row 4s. I mean, this is a pretty good one here. This one probably sold for between $30 and $40. But yeah, a lot of interesting notes. Here's a low serial number star. A best offer was accepted, probably $100 for this 1981 $1 bill. That's a really sweet sell. But you can see we're currently in the end of February right now. So this is about a week's worth of activity that we've highlighted. And he's made, a few, $300-$400 so far out of the notes that we've highlighted through the first week of, this program here. So pretty good stuff. He's had quite a bit of success. He's found duplicates, star notes. The 2013 Bs are in there as well. And, he's probably made about anywhere from $20 to $30 per bill, because those are all the rage right now. He's done the gas pump digits, where the one of the numbers is a lot higher or lower on the serial number. This one is quite minor, but he ended up turning that into $7. Here's another one here for $7. And usually when you see them grouped like this, in the sold part of the sales, they were all bought by the same person. So here's another one here. That one's very, very apparent with that last digit there, the 4. Here's another one here, and they're all $7. He's kind of had this pretty good kind of like pricing grid for these type of errors and fancies, and he's done really well. And the key to it all is that it's consistent. You know, he's not asking $7 for a specific one, and then another one he's asking $6, and another one he's asking $9. You know, they're all like the same price. It makes it easier for him to go and buy a lot of, or for someone to go in and buy a lot of the same note. And this is particularly true because I told you guys he had 1,400 sales in the last 90 days, but look at his feedback rating. It's only 761. And the big reason why that's low compared to how many he's sold is he has a lot of repeat buyers. He has a lot of buyers that buy multiple notes. But when you go to do your feedback and you give positive feedback, even if you bought, like, say, 10 notes, it only counts as one feedback for whatever reason. They won't allow you to give you to provide 10 positive pieces of feedback because you bought 10 different items, you know, if that makes sense. So there's going to be a big kind of like discrepancy between how many items Sam have sold compared to what the feedback rating is. And that's the same for anybody else that sells in volume. You know, that's just something that you're going to see. But yeah, I mean, just you certainly need to go and check out Kingdom Currency's listings. If you guys are interested in knowing more about this, you need to study from the best. And so far, Kingdom Currency is the best right now. I believe he's got the top rating in error paper currency because he's sold so many out of that particular section of the coins and paper money part of eBay that he's ranked really high. And that's why he's been able to sell a lot of these so-called fringe type of fancies and errors, is because he had developed a pretty good amount of repeat buyers. And that's ultimately like one of the keys to success from operating on this platform. So very nice. I mean, you know, look at that, 0s and 8s. Ended up selling this one probably for $40. I mean, the money is like all over the place. And again, they're all $1 bills, which you really have to admire. He gets it, you know. He's watched me for a little while, picked up some pointers, and it's all working out. And guess what? He's offering free ship on every single listing. And then when you do free shipping on the static fixed price listings, that is going to give buyers what they call perceived value, so you get more bang for the buck. So when you offer free shipping on the buy it now listings, that's a kind of a huge deal and a real big game changer. You know, I have talked to all the people that I have told about this particular, you know, little piece of selling advice on here. You know, add free ship, and however much you would normally spend for the free shipping, add it to the cost of the item. So as long as you show free shipping, that's like a free bonus value for anyone that buys your items. So a lot of good stuff here. You know, congratulations, Sam, for really doing a great job, buddy, at monetizing at a very unique niche. But I think after this video, we're going to begin to see newer folks come in to the hobby and try this out. Sure, you know, you're not going to make a fortune, but how about, you know, starting out making that extra $400 or $500 a month, you know, which could pay like a car note. It can help pay for utilities. It could put food on the table. A lot of people have asked me, what are certain ways that are like dummy proof where I can go and make money today? Bam. Here's one thing here for you. If you got like $500 to put into it, because you got to start somewhere, go to the bank, pick up $500 $1 bills, try it out, and then continuously recycle that money back. So you'll have a designated dump bank, and then you'll have one that you pick up all the nicer quality stuff from but you never want to dump where you eat. All right, so use the dump bank to bring all of your notes back into. Go back to bank A, pick up your dollar bills, and then just kind of continue the process. If you have multiple banks, that's going to be a good way to get some more diversity in the type of notes that you do receive. All right, so hopefully this all helps, and you guys were able to get a little bit of a takeaway from Sam's eBay store and this model. As you can see, it's highly successful. We're just partially through this first page, and we're only at February 24th. So, obviously the formula is working. He's picking up, a few $200, $300, $400 every week. And he is going to blow this up wide open to where he's going to be selling more and providing more diversity. He's going to be providing more of what the people want. And his customer base that he currently has, I don't know if you guys saw it, the man has 224 followers. Those are all of his repeat clients that go to his website, his eBay store, and he looks out for deals. What have you picked up for me lately, Sam? I want to buy some of these. And as long as he posts the very things that the people want, he's going to continue to sell these. All right. And so with that being said, if you're interested in doing the same thing, because currency is it's all different throughout the United States. So you could be in New York, you could be in Washington State, you could be in Florida, you could be in Illinois, you could pick up notes, and they're all not going to be the same. All right. So you're going to find different variations of birthday notes and fancies. So you can really take advantage and then kind of like hop on, the success that Kingdom Currency has had and get yourself searched on eBay the same way that he has. So as you can tell, he's doing a really good job. His market is hot right now. His stock is up. He's just continuously putting the money back into hunting more dollar bills, but at a much larger scale. For every 100 notes he sells, he's able to buy 1,000 notes from the bank. So, you can really do well, make a lot of money doing this, and you guys should try it out too if you're looking to, make a difference, in good old wallet and pocketbook. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys again for tuning in to Blue Ridge Silverhound. I'm your host, Sean. Don't forget to, hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow me on TikTok. Anything you want to say, go ahead and post it below in the box down here. Plus, I also have my sale on the Whatnot platform coming up this Friday, 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then you guys there, Central and Mountain Time, you guys know where you're at there. So come follow me there as well. I also have my referral link. Join up on Whatnot, get your $15 in credit. And let's go ahead and do some shopping, guys. A lot of silver, a lot of great stuff coming up. Thank you again to Sam, Kingdom Currency, for allowing me to talk to you today about your website. Hopefully this brings you so much more great business, and I wish you guys the best of luck. I'll see you later.